No, they didn't. And they've got they've got in-ears in. And so the problem, it's not the bass player's problem or the drummer's problem or the keyboard player's problem. And so at the end of the night when they say, thank you so much for having, I'm so sorry about the technical stuff. It's like, we didn't care.
No.
We're going to hear fine.
What about the guys who rip the earpiece out? Like, what's going on there? Are they just like raw dogging, like, I'm going to go, I want to hit that high note and I don't need to hear what the rest of the band is doing.
I don't need to know what the fucking clown up the back's doing.
It's like Luke Skywalker. Just get rid of the...
Move over, Larry Mulliner Jr. It's Bono's time to shine.
I think it's quite dependent.
Well done for remembering that name.
It's always...
Even Bono can't all the time. Or were you talking about Bono? You're like, good on you remembering that historical figure Bono.
I think it relates to how the band's publishing is set up. All right. If you've got the four-way split like Coldplay, you're the bloke in the back that's not Chris Martin. And you literally take the train to Wembley Stadium, which he did when they played there. He took the train to Wembley Stadium.
No one recognised him.
No one, he's a fucking drummer.
I wouldn't know. I mean, what do the other three guys in Oasis look like?
Exactly. All right.
Are there I'm assuming
there are.
three.
Yeah, they're the three guys that once you
One's called Concrete Head or something, Brickhead.
Once you eventually look past Liam and Noel and you see those three enormously grateful-looking guys, that's the rest of the band.
It's also like Limp Bizkit too. Like you got Fred Durst, you got Wes Borland, and then there's three. Oh, there's a DJ Lethal.
But that's the thing too, is like, you're never going to have all five in a band.
Well, there's no beat. It's very rare that they're the Beatles. Are we rolling?
Amy?
I'm rolling.
Of course, she's a professional. She's recorded at the moment she sat down.
Good stuff.
Let's jump into it.
Because it's usually that, like, if the publishing is split poorly.
Hey, wait, let me just do the intro.
I mean, we'll leave all this in anyway, but let's do an intro.
Let's do an intro so it's official. Everyone relax.
Official. That's what we like it to be here. Official.
Everyone relax. This is TOFOP. I'm Charlie Clausen.
I'm Will Anderson. Hello and thank you for watching. And joining us today in the studio, the person that you've already heard.
Yeah.
Because we will have left all that stuff in because it was a fun, interesting conversation.
We're having a good fun time. And then we
should
remembered.
officially start the proceedings, right? You should introduce yourself. That's how we do it on this show.
Yeah.
Let's do it again. You say,
okay, everyone relax. This is TOFOP. I'm Charlie Clausen.
I'm Will Anderson. Hello.
And I'm John Deeks.
Boo!
Oh, John Deeks messaged me last night.
Deeks up
he
to?
sent me a video. So, because he did all our live shows last year and we didn't pay him because he refuses payment. I offered payment. He refuses payment, but we bought him a lovely gold class, double pass gold class. And so he sent me a video to say that he and his partner were on their way
What did they go to?
They were going to see Downton Abbey
Yeah,
on the big screen.
Can I just ask, how old is John Deeks now, if you had to guess?
70-ish?
Somewhere between 45 and 90.
Because he looks better than anyone I know.
Sounds better too.
He is fit and ripped. It's the bicycle, mate. I'm on the bicycle all the time. He's mad into it.
But you can't hear it in his voice either. You know how sometimes even...
They lose the...
even like an actor can still have an enormous gravitas or a great speaking voice, but you can just hear the age in their voice. His voice is still...
It's still there.
Feels fantastic.
I want to know his...
Every time he tells me that JB have done it again, I'm like, you know what? They have done it again. JB have done it again and again.
There's... I'm just flashing back to, like, on the rooftop in your apartment in Los Angeles and Dolph Lundgren's doing his workout and next to him is Deeks with a warm glass of salty water going... gargling. He's there doing the same workout montage.
I don't know that he does though. I think he's just from that old school. Like when we get him into live shows, he's very much that old school. Like it's sort of in between sort of vaudeville and modern entertainment.
Yeah.
It's that
he's got the like show business equivalent of white line fever that a sports person would have. Like once the lights come on or it's ready to go,
and whatever you want, coach, just put me in.
But you're like that. You're both like that. I've done piss off. I've done shows with both of you.
Yeah,
you don't know. You look at each other through as you go across the event horizon. You're seeing each other, so you don't notice the change.
Right.
It's like that, the revolving door in Tenet. I, however, witness it as I see the two of you transform from Will and Charlie to it's Will and Charlie, and you're there.
Do you really think? Okay, that's interesting.
I think there is an element of performance mode, of course, because if you lived your life in the same mode as the one that you perform in, you would be insufferable.
Are you saying that you faked your entire friendship with me?
No, sir. No, absolutely don't be like
But
that
there
at
are-
all.
there
That's
are-
not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that there is an element of John Deeks where, like, when Charlie and I are out the back at the room at the Basement Comedy Club waiting to go on, and we're talking to the guests who are going to be on the show, and we're just like out the back doing our usual lack of preparedness and going, have you prepared anything? Charlie's like, I don't know, maybe I've got a quiz or
I saw an
something."
article on the way in.
Yeah,
I think we'll
that's
talk
right.
about that.
Those protesters were rolling around or something. We'll talk about that. Like, whatever. You know, we're doing our usual thing. Like, you know, and then suddenly we just hear like a murmur of excitement and noise from outside in the crowd. And like after that happens for about 5 minutes and people are starting to laugh and enjoy themselves, we're like, what's going on? And we poke our head out the curtain and John Deeks is just out there and he's just started
warming up,
audience warm up, doing his own show.
Just doing it.
Unbidden by the hosts of the show. No, not even, didn't think even to run it by us to think, is this something you guys
There's a gold class movie ticket in this, guys. I'm working for a living right now.
And won't take $1.
Won't take $1. But also then it's like, if you guys got merch, do you want me to go sell some merch after the show? I'm like, yeah, we do, but you don't have to sell it.
No.
Like you are
But
our
there's
guest.
a thing about him which I love, and it speaks to longevity in the industry that we work in. In that, as I was leaving him, he did the Japanese thing where he gives me his card, and it just simply had his number and his name on it. But
so did it just say John Deeks and then the number?
That's it.
No description.
No. And but he said to me, he goes,
it's a hitman's card.
Pretty much.
He paints houses.
Anything you want, call me. I just love to help.
Anything you want.
Yeah.
I just love to help. And that is, for the people that I know, and you've both worked in the industry for a long time, the people that I know who have worked for a really long time, that is it. Is like, I'll come and do that thing.
Yeah.
This storytelling show I'm doing every month in Sydney. Sean McAuliffe is doing Dancing with the Stars. I'm like, I'm only going to get one fucking chance to ask Sean, could you come and do this? Yeah, of course. I'd love to be there. Absolutely. Like, boom, like that. And this guy doesn't have to do a storytelling show in a theatre in Marrickville in front of 100 people.
Although I would say this, that Sean has, like, because Sean and I have spoken about this a few times about, like, the attitude of being an aging performer and what the responsibilities are, or how much you center yourself versus centering others in like the conversation. And like both Sean and I, Sean being someone who's like older than me, but someone I really respect, like his opinion on these things, about that idea of like, how much are you the person at the center, or are you the person who's helping other people? And we constantly talk about that idea of, there are some people who try to hold on to their place in the industry by shutting other people out or saying, this is my space and you can't come for it. And there are other people who think, oh, I could hang around for another 20 years if I can be helpful to the people whose time it is now. Like, you know, like these people are coming through and they're making their own things. But if I can be of help or assistance to them in some way, then I might have this whole other part of my career. And for someone like a John Deeks, like, I mean, obviously this show is not any part of his career
He's
at
accessing
all.
the youth market through TOFOP.
No, but I mean, my point being, it's a fun, like when you've had this other great career where you've done all these amazing things, but you also have this little quirky. One year I was the voice of the garbage, like at the festival they have so not Dark Mofo, they had another festival that was in Launceston in the summer, but it was the Mona people, and their compost heap was sentient and would tweet.
Like Fraggle Rock. Like, wasn't that like in Fraggle Rock is the compost heap at the back? She was the font of all knowledge.
Yeah, and so I was the tweeting character of the compost heap. And like, it's one of those things that like uncredited, not on my resume.
So were you hiding in the back and just watching people walk by and speaking into a microphone?
No, I was doing it on, like, it was online. So I was like just tweeting like little messages of, it had a whole character. It was all in theme.
Did people know it was you?
No.
Oh, okay,
no,
right.
the character, I invented a character and like named it and did it. And again,
Why is this compost heap so racist?
Well, that's exactly like, and this Twitter went, hey, that's a great idea, and has now turned in
to a
to this.
compost heap of its own.
It's just a fucking.
The compost was like, I need to get online.
And there it is. It's become its own. And now
sentient compost.
I saw
Twitter.
at this where I record my podcast. I record my podcast at a 2GB, a talkback radio station in Sydney, and one of the announcer booths is next to us where the radio is, and the guy's got an app called Hootsuite open. And I remember watching back when Twitter wasn't a fucking truck stop toilet. I used to be on Hootsuite and kind of follow topics and stuff like that.
What was Hootsuite, by the way?
It was like columns that you could follow hashtags all at the same time.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So like when I was live tweeting Bachelor, I would have that open.
Yeah, so all the people who were
so you can see the trending topics
hashtag Bachelor, you'd be able to see
or Richie or a slightly misspelled one or something like that. So you could kind of get on board, and it was a lot of fun.
Batch of lard. No? Oh, okay. So this is actually
Which was a spin-off show. It was a cross between Batch and Biggest Loser, but we don't make that kind of reality TV anymore.
No,
we used to.
Not that long ago.
No.
Within our lifetime.
Not that long ago.
I'm sure Married at First Sight will date well.
Mate, that fucking show crushes.
Worldwide phenomenon.
Crushes.
Now, right?
Absolutely crushes.
Man. Anyway. The world's in a great state. Everything's good.
Yeah, I've only just, I know you're probably all across this, but I've only just caught up with dead internet theory, and I've been reading a lot about it, and it's been scaring the absolute fuck out of me. You're up to date on dead internet
In that
theory?
most of the things and that I interact with, not the actual posts, but the things I interact with and react to are robots.
70%, they reckon, of the internet.
I would agree
Well,
with that completely.
there was a study today, or like something that had come out recently, that said that at least 60% of Twitter, like X interactions, are bots.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah.
When
that's the place where
read it.
you think
Yeah.
you're like, this is. In fact, that seems low. Yeah. But on some of the other ones, I think they are more effective. You know, we've had that conversation around that Byron Bay, accommodation catfishing page, which is like just a different form of that same thing, which is the internet is filled with this like slop anyway, and then AI has just accelerated.
Yeah.
I saw Beck Shaw. The brilliant Rebecca Shaw making a point that I have been making for a little while now. We made it a lot in Gruen meetings, which was because AI is already in ads a lot, and AI has robbed us of the idea that something can feel spectacular. Because now that we know that we can make anything, nothing feels impressive anymore. It was like an octopus, like a realistic looking octopus at the bottom of the ocean, ballroom dancing, and I was left unmoved by it because you're like, oh, well,
Where's
but
the
you can
craft
make that,
behind
so
it?
you can
what's
make
left?
it do anything.
What's left? Olympic gymnastics and metal militia motorcycles. That's kind of, but live.
Yeah, well, that's
You
it.
have
So
to be live.
this
You have to be live.
This article I was reading, that's exactly what they're saying is what was not anticipated with the sort of the scalability of AI and the fact that I think the example they used is that every 2 days the internet is generating more written words than any library or any book in the world, like in terms of hard copies. And so we have flooded our entertainment with so much content that nothing feels special anymore. Because, like you say, a dancing octopus is like, well, anyone can make that.
Yeah.
So
it's almost even the in comedy, like, the idea is like they call comedy hours when they film them as special, but that's almost become a joke now because everybody films their comedy hours. So there's nothing special about the idea that somebody has done it anymore. It's not special.
That's right. And so they were saying that people are now yearning for that feeling that something has been created. And the other way to get that is the live experience. So, and this is completely anecdotally, but when I was in Melbourne, I was so heartened by where I was staying in Fitzroy. Every bar, every venue, every like pop-up art gallery was packed, and it was packed with young people who seemed like phones not out, but wanted to interact with each other and wanted to have an experience that felt real and authentic, as opposed to sort of a digitized, sanitized, and probably corporatized message that has been sent to them through their phones.
Well, something that is just for them rather than for the masses. There's always going to be this like room for these huge mass appeal things, of course. But like the idea of the return of the niche, like this is like, I mean, it's self-serving for me to say
It's a
this,
sequel
of
to
course.
Return of the Mac, not as popular
that's
that
right.
song.
It's like,
Return of the niche.
Are you just going to do returns? Yep, this is all I'm doing actually. Return of the DVD. It was a video shop era.
Return of the disposable camera. Very niche.
So Return of the Boomerang, which I got cancelled for, which I didn't think was fair. Boomerangs do come back. I didn't think that was inappropriate.
Inappropriation, I think.
Inappropriate.
Nice.
Oh, sure.
You're welcome.
So
I've got not a lot of time on my hands, man.
this idea of, like, this is what I've been trying to do with these improv shows, and the reason I don't film them is that I like the idea that we're just making something for this room tonight, for the people who are here tonight, and that itself is an experience to be valued.
Yeah.
Like, when I really like a sandwich, the greatest compliment I could pay that sandwich is to not take a photo of that sandwich. You know, to just...
But you will kiss it and tell it it's beautiful.
Oh, well, that's the reason I can't take a photo. It's because my dick is in the sandwich. I'm like, hey,
note to self.
It's a small sandwich. Don't let the hype fool you. It's a small sandwich.
It's a finger sandwich.
When you came and did,
it's various sandwich. It's various breads.
It's not a foot long. When you came and did my comedy festival show, when you came and did the improv show that we did, the news show, I would say that every night, and people recoiled. I would say, look, we're all here, and this show only, great improv, you are the ones that give us the clues as to what you like. So if you laugh or groan or whatever, we're going to lean into that, okay? But because this is only going to happen in front of you, if we did the same topics tomorrow and a different audience, it would be completely different. So what we're doing here right now, we're all creating it together. It'll never happen again. And you're never going to get it sitting at home fingering your fucking phone.
Right.
You know? And that's what I started improv when I was like 16 or 15
I really
or
did
something.
not know if that sentence was going to end in phone. But I get what you mean, which is this idea of, and also if AI, or at least AI at the moment, is just, its capabilities are basically limited to the idea it can suck up what has come before and then repurpose that in some sort of way, right? Then the only true response to it is to make something that is not already in the information. The only way you can differentiate yourself from AI is to be making something that hasn't already been made. There is a world in which it leads to more originality and not less.
Yeah. I mean, the term that is popular at the moment is AI slop. And I think it is such a perfect descriptor for what it feels like. Because you go into your social, like Instagram, my Instagram is just filled with people who I don't follow, doing stuff that I don't give a shit about. And it's all the fucking same. And it's slop. It's just a big bucket of fucking slop.
So why are you going there?
Because I have to post shit to promote our fucking podcast that no one listens to.
That's the thing I hate the most about it, is I have to fucking use it.
But this is the thing that I wonder if we've all fallen into a big Ponzi scheme trap. Because we do all feel like we have to suddenly go to work for these social media companies that aren't giving us anything back in return, right? And we do say, oh, well, like, it's almost that thing now, because I've been off socials for a couple of years and I'm starting to like do that thing. And I don't know what the solution to this is, by the way, because I understand where we are at the moment, which is this point of going, well, that's where the audiences are, so we have to go there. But what if your audiences aren't there? Because they have also come to the same conclusion as you, which is that this is not a healthy place to be. And they've gone out into the real world. And there's all these like cool audiences that are like would love to access the thing that you're doing, but they're not hearing about it anymore because all the old traditional ways to hear about something have gone. You can't put an ad in the paper or whatever.
But you are involved in that. Like when I think about how am I going to get word out about, like I've just, we were going to do a live show based on this new book.
Yes.
And we did some A/B testing. We put some tickets on sale and the test result came back fairly conclusive that, okay, we're not going to go on tour.
Downsized like the Black Keys, you know, when they booked that stadium tour and then they were like, oh,
we'll do clubs.
Okay, you know what? Big clubs, big venues. Definitely big venues. But
the good news is
you can play a couple of games of soccer. What you thought you were going to have to cancel.
That weekend you cancel on your grand final. You can still have a live performance of the book. Yes. It'll just be in your house with the with the text, and you'll be doing it. So you can still buy the book. But
I mean, I actually think, having read the book, Osher, So What, Now What? It is something that you could actually do a home performance. In fact, I think if you're a parent trying to read it to a kid or that sort of thing, it is actually written in a way that I could imagine somebody very much sitting there with their kid and reading it aloud and kind of talking about the messages that are in the book.
We were going to do it though with live 3D motion capture. I hacked a VR headset and I've got the whole character built. Like, it's fucking unbelievable what we're doing.
Well, why don't you just mail that out to people?
I might have to. But what I was going to say is that...
Why don't you post that
Sorry,
out?
this gets me to you. So you're saying you're off socials, right? But it's show business. business, not show friends. You
Yes,
still
sir.
need to get word out about it when you do
I know,
stand-up
but
gigs,
this is
all
my
right?
problem.
But you have the mainstream exposure of still being on legacy broadcast, quite significantly, but for people that don't have that awareness of their brand you're still kind of forced into either giving your money to Meta or Alphabet.
I know, but then I again don't have the solution to this.
No.
I'm just here to like point my finger at the problem.
Right.
as usual. But I do wonder even what the ethics are. If we know the damage that social media is doing, and we do, and I know that you do, Osh, because I've heard you talk about this quite a lot, and we know the absolute damage that it has done both to our brains and to our democracy, and what is our responsibility for luring people to spend more time there or to be hooked into the infrastructure to find out I get,
Comment if you agree.
Yeah, exactly. like and subscribe. Tell us what you think. I'm never.
You
reading
want some scary shit?
Yeah.
So Audrey was away for a week. My wife Audrey was away for a week, and Wolfgang is in kindergarten now.
Yeah.
And so we're reading the books they sent home, right? And so every night I'm filming him reading his book as a good night to mum.
Oh, that's nice.
And
yeah, okay.
as he finishes, and Spot had a top with the lot.
Yeah.
Good night, Mum. Like and subscribe.
Yep.
Unbidden.
Yeah.
That's his sign off.
Yes.
And he's 6 because he's, at daycare and stuff. They watch the dance videos and whatever, and it always ends. As far as they're concerned, that's how a video ends.
Yeah.
But also he's 6, so by like and subscribe will be his cowabunga dude. Do you know what I mean? Like in that, like by the time, like in the way that technology is evolving, like what because think about it in our lifetimes. I think about it when these social media bans come in Australia for under 16s. Well, it doesn't feel so foreign to me because the internet did not arrive until I was in my 20s. So the idea that like I lived my entire teens without there being the internet or social media. So I'm like, it's fine. You'll find shit to do.
Yeah.
Maybe masturbation will make a comeback. I don't know, but they're probably doing that with the internet.
I was having this thought
as
the
well.
other day. I was sitting there on the couch with Wolf, and we're watching Captain Underpants on Netflix. Which is a cartoon of the books, which are fantastic. And the internet stopped working. And if you think a 6-year-old would melt when suddenly on-demand television isn't fucking there, or the iPad doesn't work, or the phones don't work, he just fucking, like, he just melted. And I looked at him and went, you are living through the first 31 years of my life. Like, that is how I went through my entire life. I was indistractable. Like, I had to be bored.
Yeah.
The whole fucking time. It was
and if you like the show, if you were like, I like that, Daddy, you were like, well, good. In 1 week from now, you can watch an episode of it again.
But don't talk because it'll be over.
But the great thing about that, because the thing about the Wi-Fi going out where we live, like the internet can be unreliable, like even phone signal can be unreliable, and it is a great kind of get out of jail free card. When she wants, it's like, oh, there's no Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi's gone.
Yeah, sorry.
So
blame Elon.
She's gonna become an adult and go, my father was lying to me. The Wi-Fi was perfect here. We've got 5 bars, but I'm always like, sorry, there's no Wi-Fi. We can't watch whatever. You can't listen to whatever. There's no Wi-Fi. And so suddenly we're isolated.
Do you reckon there's a few people in the Northern Rivers who don't believe in the 5G conspiracy, but just think it's a convenient cover for like getting their kids off
that's
screens?
right. That's why they chopped down the 5G tower in Mullumbimby.
Yeah, the people were like, it was a 5G thing.
Kind of. We just don't want our kids
was watching a lot of Bluey.
I wouldn't mind if you just watched Bluey. It's it's just watching 4-hour-long YouTube kid videos.
Oh my god, the unboxing. It's the
about flat earthing and stuff. Right?
Well, that's where it starts with unboxing, and
I own it
before you know it.
I own it because her birthday's coming up next week, so she's been getting presents coming in from like relatives and stuff, and she referred to opening a present as an unboxing.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, of course.
And I was like, oh god. And she even does like because she wants to make. Well, we've been recording podcasts together. I've just been sort of saving on a hard drive, just like we do these mini podcasts. And she wants to release them. I'm like, no, we're not releasing these to anyone. Because there's a lot of slurs.
Yeah,
exactly. She's got some strong opinions.
Real strong.
Eugenics is yet to be appreciated on a grand scale, but she was 3.
But then she was like, "Oh, can we start making videos?" And I said, "Well, we can make them for us and for like family and friends, but no, this is not going to go on YouTube." And so she's been doing. It's called Iona and Friends, where it's whatever she wants to do. But she has been coming. I was telling Will about this. She's been coming up with her intro, which is like. her YouTube character is called Big Head. I don't know where that comes from, but she's like, I'm Big Head. If you know me before, you better kick it. And then she goes into her intro, and it's like, why do you have a catchphrase? It took us, 5 years to come up with Everyone Relax? And she just came up with better kick it. You see me before, you better kick it.
That's fantastic.
Right?
That the marketing is built into the way that we speak.
But I feel like maybe...
Get Chomsky on the phone.
I feel like this might be maybe finally we've worked out how to monetize this podcast. We need to become show business parents.
Oh,
we need to raise her as a...
That's our Gemini, that's our lifeline. Like, it's like, I look at like Chris Hemsworth's parents and I'm like, they must be stoked. Like, they must be stoked that they just had three, but two sons, who are multimillionaires who are able to kind of like, but because they have like, they've bought up like half the Northern Rivers, like they have heaps of real estate. And it's like the parents just like, we did so well to have great genes. Like, look at what we've created.
Look at what we've contributed to the Australian economy.
Yeah, Australian tourism. We've boosted tourism.
I mean, they're face of
all
tourism.
Because we were two very attractive people who decided to procreate.
Sex. And like, if you're an attractive person listening to this podcast, who's like looking at another attractive person and thinking, I want to have sex with them, but I don't have any good motivation.
Yeah.
Think of the Hemsworths.
Yeah, you could be retired
right
in your early 50s.
No, early 50s, early 30s. If you exploit your children enough with the unboxing and all that kind of stuff, don't worry about the Macaulay Culkin laws that, that only covers film and television. I'm talking like get your small child as small as possible, hold that mug, get him to say, better kick it down the barrel, and you cash that money right there.
Yeah, in fact, we should put out some Better Kick It merch.
Better Kick It, Big Head merch.
Yeah, like imagine, and we don't even tell Iona.
Yeah,
like we're
making a fortune.
Just making some people don't even know what it's like referencing, but it hits. Yeah. Like young girls are like, it's the new White Fox, and then suddenly everybody's just...
bus only marketing, only buses. I don't want any. What do I need a poster for? Buses, only buses.
I've missed the White Fox phenomenon. So. That's an Australian company?
It is.
Yeah, right.
It's a very successful...
I know, because I see it everywhere, especially when I fly out from the Gold Coast. Like, you think the Gold Coast Airport is sponsored by White Fox.
Yeah, they did. They went a non-traditional marketing path where they marketed it in two ways, which was through influencers, but like micro-influencers. So instead of going to the really big influencers, they went to these people who had smaller audiences, but maybe where they could speak more directly to the audiences, but you've got a lower cost model. And so it was kind of like a word of mouth strategy where they get a bit of product, people would showcase it. It's affordable, but it's reasonably good quality. It's sexy on the level of they feel sexy in it, but parents feel comfortable with the kids wearing it because it's kind of leisure wear.
It's not
and
juicy.
baggy.
It's not quite as suggestive as juicy.
And White Fox still feels edgy enough without being whatever it is. Whatever it is, the magic of it. And they did buses. So the buses were to sell it to the parents, and the online was to sell it to the kids to want to wear it. And they had these two strategies: no traditional media. Can you tell him we did a segment on it?
Yes.
They've also built in scarcity into the model,
right?
In that they have
limited runs.
Volume 1, Volume 2.
This is what we're going to do.
But this
Volume
is like
3.
So you'll see on their back, they'll be like White Fox Volume 4. Or
so
whatever.
Look, I know I've got Volume 2, so therefore I'm fucking way cooler than you because I like their old stuff better than their new stuff.
It's a great idea. And potentially the most Gold Coast moment ever. I was waiting at the airport. My brother was flying into town. I was waiting to pick him up. And I saw this woman who would have been, I'm going to say, older than me, probably in her mid-50s, but with the bleach blonde hair and had some work done, wearing a matching White Fox pink tracksuit. And I was taking notice of her because she was sort of tottering back and forth and didn't seem to know which direction she was going and whether she was going to the international or domestic departures. And she had this big bag with her, like a Gucci bag or whatever. She's going back and forth. And so I was keeping half an eye on her. I was waiting for my brother. And then I see 5 heavily armed federal police arrive and grab her and escort her into the private screening room area, take her, and they left the doors open so I could just sort of tilt my head and see through the crack. They took the bag off her. They started searching through the bag. I'm like, she's either just picked something up or just about to drop something off or meeting someone. And it's like, I'm on the Gold Coast now.
Yeah.
why there isn't a procedural, why there is not CSI Sydney, get fucked. Why do we not have an Australian procedural based on the Gold Coast with all the nefarious shit?
I think they did it. There was a series called The Strip. I'm not sure if you remember that in the mid 2000s.
No, you got to make it.
I distinctly remember the promo because it was Aaron Jeffrey, like he was playing a cop. And in a suit, but he's sprinting along the beach in Surfers Paradise.
Well, that's
the
problem.
That's what the
always
cops on the Gold Coast
cheesy,
do.
right? Like, whereas I think you want to play it more. You don't need to amp up the Gold Coast.
No.
You just need to represent the Gold Coast as it is.
Just be normal as the cops. Like, make it a buddy cop, obviously. Be the normal as the cops, and just let it do it. When I was there for doing Bachelor, there was a guy downstairs at the supermarket, and he would drive his Aston Martin DB9, and he was older than me, looked like he'd left the house with his coat hanger still in his jacket, like he was
the TRT, just HGH.
And he had like A-cab on this one and 1972 on that fist.
Okay, so hang on. So like you loved all cops are bad. And then
probably his birth year,
1972, the band. He
loved
it.
Maybe
Just a real big fan.
Loves it, and just the out in the world criminality. Oh no, like I'm just a legitimate businessman going about my day.
Do you think the Gold Coast? Because I was just up there this weekend. We took Iona. We did Movie World and SeaWorld, stayed at the SeaWorld Resort. We did a proper Gold Coast weekend.
Sick.
I didn't even know there was accommodation at the SeaWorld Resort.
Yeah, and it's like, I haven't been on TV for quite some time, but there is a demographic, and it's the demographic that stay at SeaWorld
that
Resort.
Cruise ships, mate. That and cruise ships.
It's like that night I went to Pearl Jam. I was like,
oh man, you would have been so
I'm still famous.
I was like,
because I stood behind you.
It's like I might be the most famous person in the world.
I stood behind you at the in January this year at the Hordern Pavilion. I stood behind you at the Amel and the Sniffers gig, and I was like, I'm not going to chat. I'm not going to punt. We're but Audrey and I, we're like right behind you. I'm like, I'm not going to. He's he was chatting with somebody there, but nobody came up to speak to you.
No,
the whole night.
That's right,
and it was fucking great.
Yes,
because we're old men in that
That's
room.
right, correct.
Yet I can only imagine at Pearl Jam, it's like, you're my other dad.
Yeah, totally. I mean, honestly, I should flyer for my comedy festival shows. I should get Pearl Jam. I should do a deal with Pearl Jam.
You know, before we do this next song, there's a comedian here that we love. And he's not Adam Hills. We know that people make that mistake all the time.
Well, I just say when it comes to comedy,
let me just
can't find a better man.
I'll just get I'll now dedicate a song to him on my ukulele.
At home, drawing pictures of the growing transfer.
Everyone relax.
But the Gold Coast. So, because Jeremy and I, during COVID, we lived in Burleigh Heads for about 6 months. And
You
I'm like,
got out of the prison quick. It was amazing.
Oh yeah, totally. We definitely jumped the border, but we had this really great, and it was during COVID, so it wasn't as busy as it normally is. And it's like, this is a very beautiful part of the world, and I could just sort of see myself. I can understand why it's kind of like the Florida of Australia, because it's kind of easy to get around. There's everything you need. You sort of stick to your bit, and it's warm most of the time. I
believe it's pronounced Flow Rider.
Yeah, yeah.
But what is
a wild
the
one.
identity of the Gold Coast beyond beyond that, right? Is there, like, growing up in Brisbane, was there a snobbery to the Gold Coast? Like,
oh fuck yeah, absolutely. Because Goldie was a place you went to.
Right.
It's kind of like.
But what is the identity of it? Is it just a retirement village? Is
It
where
was.
the
It was
criminals
that.
hang out?
It
What
was-
is
And
it?
then there was Surfers Paradise, which was
It's everything about the Bjelke-Petersen government gone wrong.
Right. Okay.
Which was, I mean, you look at, there's only one part of Australia that we've allowed to be like that. There's, hang on, wait. Like, here's the high tide line. Here's a 120-story building.
I mean, yeah.
Here are drug deals happening in the street.
Yeah.
All right. And everyone is just fucking fine with it. You walk up and down Cavill Avenue, it smells like human piss and vomit.
Yeah.
We're fine with that being, as long as it stays there.
Like billboards for like indoor shooting ranges and strip clubs. It sort of feels like Vegas and LA mashed together, like strip malls for miles. Like, it's just a really, I can't get a handle on what it is.
It's a sandy Las Vegas. Is what it is. Yeah. And when I grew up in Brisbane, it was also very far away. There was only one road, and it took a long time to get there. So you only when you had to. And I think at some point in the 90s, 80s, Victoria changed a lot, and every year at school there'd be more kids coming from Melbourne, and then the Victorians are like, what? I can live how far from the ocean for how much money?
There was a big exodus.
And it just showed up. And then it became this community of people who grew up there and lived there, forever. So you had this family thing, but also the edges vary, that intense kind of fringe surf culture, particularly centered aroard Tweed Heads, Coolangatta.
Yeah.
If you know about the Australian surfer, Michael Peterson, MP, genius, but absolutely bonkers. So there was a lot of heavy kind of lower socioeconomic stuff happening down at Tweed. Do you need another coffee? Because you've shook that about 7 times. The evidence that it's empty repeated to you every time you shake it.
I just like to fiddle with things, Sasha.
Can I get you a sandwich?
I honestly, I have my Dickinson bread right now, so just waiting for the break.
So yeah, Goldie's a wild place. It's.
But do you think
beautiful.
will it always be like that? Because it is definitely getting gentrified. Like those
maybe
areas
only the next 30
around-
years, because most of it won't be there by the end of the century.
It's a good point.
This is the thing. I look at it and I'm like, so there's a strip between Broadbeach and Burleigh, Mermaid Beach, etc., etc., and there's people who've got $20 million houses right in the forges. Why would you? You must have $20 million. You don't mind losing, because that's the storms that came through last year. Fucking hell, man. That's not going to be there. And we're going to have to figure that out as a country. What do we do? Where else are we going to put our beautiful, sandy, hedonistic paradise? Where is it going to live? Because it can't be there anymore.
Tassie. Tassie will be the sunny, hedonistic paradise.
How do we know
in 40
do we have to look at a map of Tassie to find the...
Where would be if we were starting again? If we were starting again from scratch, right? I think we're all agreeing that Canberra probably isn't where you're going to put the nation's capital. No. If you're starting from scratch, you'd redraw the state lines. There's a whole bunch of different things you could do. Mm-hmm. So if we were starting from scratch and we were trying to ideally position where Australia's den of inequity, sort of like Gold Coast style place would be, is it not still in the right spot? It still feels like that's about where you would put it, because
it's hot.
It's warm enough, but it's not like North Queensland warm. It has to be a bit out of that. It either has to be where Byron Bay, it has to be sort of Byron Bay up anyway.
When you cross the border, from northern New South Wales to the southern Gold Coast, the cultural differences are insane in a 10-kilometre stretch. It's so different, and I just sort of, as a Victorian, I sort of can't get my head around. But you people who live so close together.
You can go from Fitzroy to Brunswick. It's 5 kilometres.
I don't think the divide is that. I think Melbourne, there's a commonality that runs through all Melburnians. There is this sort of
we're not as good as Sydney.
Well, yeah, a little bit. There is this kind of self-serious kind of cool factor that most Melburnians have that links them all. Whether you are north of the Yarra or south of the Yarra or western suburbs, there is a commonality. Because I found that when I first moved to Sydney.
It feels ridiculous. I mean, I'm from obviously Victoria, grew up there, but have not lived there for a quarter of a century, basically.
Yeah, most of my adult life has been outside
I have only recently moved back there. And I will say there is something about being back there where you do there's something about that city where you adopt it a little bit more as your identity than you do, I think, than some of the others.
I think sport plays a huge role there.
I think that is part of it, for sure.
And we talked earlier about what do we go for? What's the real thing? What's the thing we all connect to? And again, just harking back to this improv show, I'd have to, we've got inner city. I had 5 cast, and the inner city, overall wearing improv kids. I'm like, guys, you're going to have to learn about. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. I love you. You're incredible. You're a fucking genius.
Yes.
You're going to need to know how many goalposts there are in the AFL.
Yes.
You're going to have to understand how NRL works, because this is the common cultural language of our nation.
Yes.
Okay, and you need to speak this if you want to speak to a broad range of people.
But it's also incredible, and this is the sort of thing of everyone's argument has always been about football, the world game, soccer, as we call it in Australia and pretty much only Australia. But is they go, well, it's elegant and it's played everywhere and we can only compete with and there, I get that. I get the idea of let's test ourselves against the world. But I think there's also something very beautiful about, also we have this game we just made up. And by the way, it makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
And do they play it anywhere else? No, because even we don't understand
Did
it.
you see
Do the
we
Irish
made it
give a
up.
shit that no one plays?
Yeah.
They can't play anyone at hurling. They don't give a fuck.
No.
They will just go out there and try to take each other's heads off.
Surely 60% of the kids you draft into this competition don't all come from the one state. Yes, no.
Did you see? There's Daniel Bryan is a AEW wrestler. He's out doing promo because he's doing a show. He was on SEN this morning, and he went to an AFL game. And they said, what did you think of it? And he's gone, I think the game's great. And you've got a series of rules that seem to make sense, but then it's like a bunch of 5-year-olds came in and just changed it at the last minute, so nothing makes sense. It's like, oh, wow, he's nailed it on first viewing.
That's it.
It's impossible to follow.
And that's what we're going for.
Yeah, and that's our national game.
Yeah, that's right.
When does this come out?
Yeah.
This episode?
Probably about 4 weeks.
Couple of weeks.
So we can't talk grand
few
final.
weeks.
That's
Well,
a shame.
No, we can. Let's make some predictions.
I'll make my predictions.
Yeah, who did you think won? Who won?
Well, we were
And
Charlie
congratulations to them.
and I were talking about this the other night. It's because Smith plays for Geelong now, right?
Yes, Bailey
right?
Smith.
Him and is it Ashcroft from?
Marcus Ashcroft, yes.
No, he's the dad. Will Ashcroft. Or
The-
am I talking about?
Yes, sorry.
The
Will
two-
Ashcroft, yes.
Probably the two greatest mullets we've seen in AFL forever.
Oh, yeah, it's a good
coming
point.
together.
I haven't thought of that.
In a beautiful
How did we
moment.
ignore that?
It does feel like our areas.
Yeah,
feel like
we
we've
completely
dropped the
missed
ball
it.
a little.
Yeah, I feel bad.
It's-
Sort of
it's like-
clash of the mullets
It's
head to head.
just fucking sport has always been better when there's more hair.
Yeah.
Sport's better. It makes the hits
But
look better. It makes
the
things
Will
look faster.
Ashcroft
Can
mullet,
I say
I'm
this, by the
fascinated,
way?
yeah.
The good news is that this episode will come out after we've recorded some Two Guys One Cup, so we'll just steal
Take
this.
that,
And-
please.
Yeah, we can.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
I
Take
can't.
it.
Oh, Osher, I
Yeah.
can't believe you've just brought up
I'm-
that thing
That
Charlie
we talked
and I
about on
entire-
our live show with
for
Junk
weeks.
Time.
All I do is
We called it the
mullet grand
madness.
finals.
it's the dance. It's the biggest dance of the and that's a
The
beautiful
mullet
thing.
mauling.
But I would if, and it's his only if because Penrith were fucking devastating. They were like
Yeah.
Chris Kyle level of devastating on the Bulldogs last night. If and only if Brisbane can get over Panthers, if Brisbane and Brisbane go to the grand finals, both grand finals, so AFL and NRL, even if that alone is enough to raise the city to the ground, if one of them wins, I would be just taking the weekend off. If both of them win, holy
Does
shit.
Brisbane become the best city
In the
Australia
world, people will not fucking work for a week.
for
I
12?
mean-
For 12, I mean that should be a
And
new
then the
rule, right?
Olympics,
Maybe.
though, right?
Pardon?
And then the Olympics.
Can we change the
Olympic
Can we
city.
change the laws that if your city wins both
Both,
the
yeah.
NRL and the AFL grand
Well,
final,
they've
that you
also- they
become
al-
the capital city for 12 months?
Well, they're
Now we're
like they
talking.
have to move, Parliament to Brisbane
Now-
for 12 months.
now
my
we're talking.
God.
Yeah.
Now,
Where
now we're
what
talking.
what building would house Parliament for 12 months? in
Yeah.
Brisbane?
Casino?
Do you think? I mean, why not,
Do it.
right? It would be great.
Jupiter's one of the goalie, of
Yeah,
course.
just nominate where the Parliament's going to be.
Movie World.
Yeah, even Wet and
Wet and
Wild. Yeah, fuck yeah.
I mean, why shouldn't it? We are it's the national parliament.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
shouldn't it?
Be rotating.
And put something on the line. That's how we get Tasmania into team. That's why the government has to put a bit extra money into building the stadiums in these places, because we'll also use the stadiums to count votes in the.
We need to move people. What if you just move the Senate for now?
Oh, yeah.
Just move because then
Uh-huh.
but half the lobbyists would have to move as well.
Right.
That's the maybe that's
well, not
maybe
the
that's how
mining
we get
lobbyists.
around the
There's a
lobby.
lot in Queensland, right? It'd be easy
Maybe
for
that's how we
them.
get around the lobby problem.
Right.
Because it's only 100 and 200 MPs and they only ever go for 40, 50 days a year. Piece of piss. The 3,000 lobbyists that work around them, that's a lot harder to move around.
Yeah.
So perhaps by moving the parliament, we can take care of the money in politics.
Right.
Yeah, I like
Make it
that
harder.
too. And I like the idea that the politicians. Remember Tim Ferguson's show, Don't Forget Your Toothbrush?
Yes.
Loved it.
You
Yeah,
had
yeah.
to be packed, ready to go on the
Amazing.
Yep.
holiday
The
they were going to
best.
send you on. So
The
you had to
best.
bring your suitcase.
Yes.
I feel like it should be that on grand final day. All the politicians should be paraded around with their luggage all packed up,
Yep.
ready to
To go whatever city.
to go wherever.
I'm here for
Yeah.
it. I'm absolutely here for it. You're asking about where the Goldie should possibly be, and I remembered something that if you...
He just shook his coffee cup again. Now you got me watching for it.
It's 9 times. If you, so now
he's signalling to Amy to
there
end
are
the pod.
parts because I want you to think, gentlemen, like you got to think about where the coastline's going to be.
Yeah.
All right, think about you want to build like Wayne Gretzky. You want to skate to where the puck is. Think about where the coastline's going to be.
Ipswich. Sure.
A large part of the inland of Australia is barely above sea level. The Kakadu National Park's like only a metre or so above sea level. Right. So if we get a decent 1.5 or 2 metres of sea level rise. Broken Hill is no longer going to be this inland outpost. It is fucking Mediterranean coastline.
Yeah. So you start... Mad Max does become Waterworld.
Get the real estate now.
Yeah.
Get it. Look for where the coastline used to be. Buy now. And then build your 50,000-story building there. Put in your weed-covered Cavill Avenue, and people are like, "What are you doing?" They're like, "I've built it. They will come. Trust me, they will come."
Like Vegas style. Like it's going to be So you find the place in the middle of the desert, and you make that your advantage. But
just have all the jet skis parked up there. Like, what are they here for? Trust me, the water's coming.
If you build it.
Yeah,
it will come.
The water's coming.
That's right. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Well, I thought it was a bit of a weird thing that we were talking to Osher about, like 2 football games that happened 3 weeks ago, but it turns out it's actually turned into something quite fascinating.
I think it's a genius idea. It's at least something. At least have the concept of a home and away game for Parliament. At least they've done that. My local land and environment council occasionally will have. If people are trying to build something, I live in the eastern part of Sydney, and if they're trying to build something fucking ridiculous, they will have a session on the street in front of the lot where people are going to know, I want to build it here. And people go, fuck no.
When you say they'll have a session, you mean they get the bong out?
Yeah, they chop the bowl.
Land Environment Council, sure, whatever.
Yeah. But we should actually take Parliament and do away games. Do away games with Parliament so people can come and see it. And let people go, because it also gets them out of their fucking holes of wherever they live.
How is life going? Because Osh and I were neighbours for a period of time. How is life going in the eastern suburbs without me? I know, because you know the horrible neighbours we had living downstairs. I mean, that was a feature of this podcast for at least 2 or 3 episodes. Yeah. So Osh updated me. Because those horrible neighbours actually ran the shop on the ground level. There's a shop on the ground level of the apartment block, and the day that shop closed, Osh sent me a photo saying, "Oh, looks like they're gone."
Wildly, when we moved into our new house, I was chopping down. It had been owned by some 80-year-olds, so the backyard was very full of everything. So my afternoons would consist of
Nazi memorabilia.
It was Scientology stuff, but
okay,
sure.
All right.
And so I'd spend my afternoons with.
I did it again.
With the
now I've noticed. Now you've got me noticing my own actions.
And I'm the one with obsessive compulsive disorder. So I would get out there with the reciprocating.
Diagnosis is for cowards.
The reciprocating saw. And so in the sun, it's late in the day. I've got a bit of time before dinner. I'm just like hacking off limbs of shitty trees before the arborist comes in. And then 2 doors down, there's a lady screaming at me
with an Austrian accent
over the balcony. And I called Charlie and I'm like, "Hey mate, that lady that used to be mad at you, did she have an accent?" Yep. It's like, I've just fucking moved in next to her. I spent my afternoon, I just would go for it. I didn't give a shit. It was great. They left.
So you muscled them out. So they were not still there?
No.
Oh, that's great.
They left.
Yeah, I've never, I don't really hold hatred in my heart for anyone.
A grudge is just a place to park your car?
Oh, my God. I still, it's been almost,
it
6
takes
or 7
a lot
years.
for you to get to that point.
Yeah.
So, having not met this person, I judge them through the fact that I just
what it takes to break me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, right. I've been trying for years unsuccessfully. I've been waging a relentless war in order to try and break you, and have not made a dent in him, Osh.
I try and be reflective on it, and and sort of think about it, and how could I have been a better person? And she clearly has a mental illness, and I could have been more accommodating, but. She angered me so badly. The scars are so deep. I am not willing to forgive and move on.
Well, I've got 4 words for you, Charlie.
What's that?
So what? Now what?
Oh, well, reading your book,
Yeah.
it's like you don't need to forgive, but you can. What was it?
I don't remember.
Oh, God, that
You don't have to like it.
No, it's you don't need to forgive the person, but it's basically you accept, but you don't need to forgive them. You can forgive.
No.
You don't have to forgive them.
Not if you're not ready to it.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I have.
But you can't accept that that's who she is.
I accept that's who she is, and I can't change the past. I can't change how I acted. It is.
Nor
what it
can you
is, and I
change
move
her.
on. Oh boy, but I'd love to change.
Yeah, but this is the thing is how much energy gets wasted.
Yeah.
How much is your brain full of, increasingly elaborate vengeance strategies that involve trapdoors and mechanized saw blades and things like this, instead of I'm here hanging out with my kids.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the thing. It's the mental real estate that perseverating on this shit takes up. And having been someone who lost years of my life because my brain was too full to remember anything, it's worth putting some distance between you and that stuff.
So was the way your mind was working, were you beating up more on yourself, or were you villainizing other people, or was it a mix of both?
It depends, but none of us, there's no review that either of you have got as a performer that is any worse than something you've said to yourself when you've known you fucked up on stage.
Oh, or not on stage, in real life.
Yeah.
I mean, Nick Cave writes about this a bit, which is the idea that regrets actually, we should think about our regrets as being like ways that help us motivate our future actions. The idea that like often you become a good person based on the fact that at some point in your life you did something that you later went, oh, that doesn't feel like me, or I went too far, or I became a person that wasn't to my values or whatever. But sometimes you only find that out by stepping over the line or transgressing that thing, or like looking in the mirror at some point and go, oh, I don't feel comfortable with who I am or what I've said or what I believe or whatever it might be.
The guy that helps me stay sober, he, I work through this. There's this particular step that you take, and the steps that I take to get sober.
I believe the steps are step 1, you can have lots of fun. Step 2,
there's so much we can do. Step 3, it's just you and me.
Just you and me.
Step 4, which was the long one. I took a long time on my fourth step, but it is actually I can give you more.
I can give you more.
And step 5 is don't you know that the time is right, which is, as we all know,
no, it's the time has arrived.
The time has.
Don't you know that the time has arrived?
You know the dance moves, and so do I. But yeah, so when I did that step I was like, just
you failed AA. Get out. you forgot the 5 steps.
I was in a fucking
5-step.
I was in a puddle of fucking just disgust at myself.
Yes,
with 2 Ds. It was puddle of just disgust at myself, and he said, "I got good news for you. You get to live the rest of your life not being that guy anymore."
Yeah.
And that's really it. It's the idea of doing a living amends. It's what your friend Mr. Cave was talking about.
Yeah.
Is you have those memories and you kind of flinch. You go, oh fuck, that's right. Fuck, I did that. Fuck, I did that. You get to the, well, what can I do now?
Yeah.
I can never go back and make that right.
Wish
what
I
can
could. It'd
Can't.
be great if I had never made a mistake or done a cruel thing or been an awful person or whatever.
What I can do is live the rest of my life, making sure that moment has value by then stopping that energy here and doing.
Honor it in a positive way. Like,
Absolutely.
honor the memory of the mistake by doing something positive in return, or at least not making the mistake again.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Like, I think it's like, I mean, So What, Now What is a book. Like, Struthless, Campbell Walker did the illustration.
He's fucking incredible.
There'll probably be a link in the show notes to the episode that Campbell did of Philosophy recently as well. We spoke about the two of you and how you came to know each other and like your relationship. So to work with him, what was that like to collaborate with him?
There was nobody that I would have wanted to work with other than him. He was, when I did that first live show based on the first book, I needed to do a video, basically look, I'm going to talk about, sexual assault as kids and, suicide, well, let's put a bit of a warning up the front, but let people know it's on the way. And I just had loved his stuff so much. I emailed him and said, hey, can you do a video for me? He's like, yeah, sure. So he made this fucking unbelievable video, and we got to, become close. It was years ago now, and we've stayed close over time. When it came to write this book, I always wanted it to be illustrated, because if it wasn't illustrated, it would need to be 900 words, 900 pages. It would need to be that fucking thing.
Yeah.
And when you're when you're having a hard fucking time,
it has to be either very simple or very complex, but it can't be anything in between.
It's got to be like something you can, within a page, you got to be able to get, I'm in. Otherwise, you have this tiny window of opportunity to help somebody who's in that state. And there's no one else that I could have ever thought of to do it, because he's just so knowledgeable. His other books, Doom and Bloom and Your Head is a Houseboat, are fantastic books. And I was like, Cam, can you do this? And he was finishing not only was having his second child, he was also finishing his Doom and Bloom book. He goes, yeah, I'll do that. And he doesn't say yes to anybody. And so we got to work on this. And it was one of those most amazing collaborative relationships, probably the best one I've ever had. You guys have been collaborators for a very long time. But it was...
Yeah, but Will can't draw for shit.
Yeah. But it is...
I actually have quite a charming drawing style, I've been told, by people who... Like, I don't draw very often, but on the occasions when I do draw...
When you're sitting up in your house and when the MCG's full and you can't get reception, get out your sketchbook and draw a little comic about it.
I bought a book.
Oh, my God.
You know when you buy
Maybe
something...
you should be doing the artwork, the exclusive, unique artwork for every episode.
James Fosdyke would, come to my house and murder me. Imagine if I... Just this is what we're doing now, Foz.
Hey, Will's in charge of the art.
Foz has got a new book out, by the way, with Auntie Donna. I should give that a plug.
Of course he does.
Yes, so there's a new Auntie Donna.
I couldn't afford him. I tried to get him to do my
podcast.
So he was doing us a great deal for
incredible. But imagine if we were like, Will's doing it now. We haven't replaced you with AI. We've replaced you with
Will.
WA.
WAI.
So Cam, it was the idea, the collaborative
Will Anderson, illustrator.
It was the idea of your best idea wins, and that was really it. And so to collaborate with someone like that, who it's not, when you guys work together, it's not 1 + 1 = 2. It's 1 + 1 can equal 5, because it magnifies and multiplies.
But ours isn't best idea wins; it's dumbest idea dominates.
But in the ironic way that your show works, it's best on my end when I listen to it. And so that's what it was like with Cam. He would suggest something, and I'd be like, "Oh, hang on, this has just become something better than either you or I could have come up with," and boom, that's what it becomes. And it was just a delight. He's so crazily talented and was able to really bring some very complicated ideas to life, which involved, sorry to cut you off, we work with a psychologist to make sure that it was the real thing, because there's a lot of stuff online where people just kind of go, and if you find this, here's some 4 things to get rid of your, obsessive tendencies. Are you a psychiatrist? You're not. I'd listen to my doctor if I was you. Don't just listen to someone
but also, on just quickly, what are those 4 things? Because apparently I've been touching my coffee cup a lot. I've spent the last 10
awareness is number 1.
With my hands in my hoodie. I've had to basically put myself in
We've fidget shamed you.
Can we get a spray bottle so I can just spray in the face like a dog that won't stop licking its balls?
Just sitting here.
Do you want something to play with? Do you want to play with my headphone case? You want to open and shut
part of the reason I think I like my big giant sippy cup when I'm on stage is I do find myself just fiddling with it a lot.
Yeah.
Can I ask,
hiding vodka in it?
With the writing of the book, Osh, was there any point in which the stuff you were writing about was relating to the creation of the book? Like, were you getting doubts in your mind?
Oh, absolutely. Because
the level of irony that must have been going on there, which is I'm feeling too anxious, I'm questioning my own decisions.
Absolutely. There was also that, and there was also going through the financial realities of not having worked in television for 2 years, but everyone thinks I'm still on TV every week, and so no one wants to hire me.
That is
really hard.
That is a weird thing, because you worked in roles that were so ubiquitous that people who did not even watch the shows you do were aware that you were doing those shows. So that's that world where people still think it's everyone's on multi-million-dollar network contracts and stuff, as opposed to the reality of the situation, which is Channel 10's got 1 studio, and there's a guy called Gary who operates it with 8 robots.
Pretty much.
It's not what people believe it is, but you were so publicly famous.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you did Dancing with the Stars.
Which is the other thing where writing this book and finishing this book, I was finishing off during
Dancing
Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah,
which was an incredibly humbling, and I did it because it was hard.
Yeah.
And I did it because it was very difficult. And
I mean,
everyone I know who's done it has said it's the most physically taxing thing that they've ever done. Everyone goes in thinking it's going to be a laugh, and then it's like, this is fucked. It's like
but also
hardest.
you've got like replacement hips.
Yeah, for my third one.
Yeah, that's
on
right.
The right-hand side.
So like it's the hips. I don't know. Like here's what I'm going to say. This might be a controversial opinion. I'm not a dancing expert.
No,
but I reckon you use your hips heaps. I reckon your hips are like. Do you know what I mean? It's a big part of it. I reckon.
I think
you've done it now. Would you say, in retrospect, your hips are a big part of it?
I would say yes. I would say they are a significant portion of it.
You must have gone into it knowing, I'm probably not going to win, like based on my body being what it is, right, and me having no kind of background to do this. So then, when you go into something like that has, like, I mean, I've heard you speak about this, like on your podcasts and stuff, like, but to talk to us about, like, what did you go in thinking the experience was going to be like versus what it was like, did it match what you thought it was going to be like?
No, it was absolutely completely different. It was completely different. It was really, really, really challenging.
Because like the interesting thing about you doing it is, as you like talk about a bit on your podcast, is you've done reality formats heaps. So you have that sense of these are how these shows work or how they're put together or how they're plotted or whatever. And yet when you are then on the other side of that thing as a contestant, that's what I find so fascinating about it, right?
Knowing full well exactly how these shows are cast, exactly how they play out, exactly how the story arcs are there. And I'm in the middle of it going, oh, fuck.
Didn't help you at all knowing how the sausage is made.
No, and knowing exactly how the sausage is made. It was really discombobulating because that's the same room that I did 5 seasons of Australian Idol and 3 seasons of The Masked Singer in with the same crew, because there's only so many, crew that can make those big shiny floor shows, and it's the same people. They work year round. Same audio, same camo, same director. But the difference was like I don't have an earpiece and I'm not holding a microphone. It was like really fucking super weird.
Yeah, and you can't throw your coffee in like the assistant's face anymore, can you? Because you're not the host.
Well, you did still. I know you did do that still.
Well, it's important.
But they just don't. It's important that
it's not on camera now.
No, that's right.
That's the thing. It doesn't really help. It doesn't carry the same weight.
Yeah, it couldn't claim that coffee.
No, there's more time in HR afterwards. There's more time in HR. But I was, but I'm a competitor. I'm only in my career and I'm only where I am.
Dancing with the Stars, what network's that on?
7.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, that's fine. You can do whatever. You can't say that, but I can say that. What are they going to do? Put me on SAS?
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, all right. So you go into this, you know how the show works, but
I really want to do well, because I wanted to do it for 2 reasons.
Still hope maybe that I'm just like secretly going to be great at this.
It wasn't mostly that. It was I just wanted to be able to show Georgia, who's now 21.
And can dance, was like dance.
Can fucking dance, right? And has recently started again, which I'm very happy about. Wanted to show how, influential she has been on my life, but also wanted to show Wolfgang, it's important to do stuff you're going to suck at. It's important to find humility before it finds you. Do stuff that's hard because then you discover things about yourself you otherwise wouldn't have discovered. And I got to discover through that process that I actually needed far more external validation than I believed I did. I was like, why does this hurt so much? I know he's a pantomime character, and I know he was telling me shitty things because this is the kind of TV we're making here. I was like, and to the point when I got voted off the island, I called up the show psych. They have a psychologist.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they have a psychologist on every show. Have done since Idol, and I called her up, and we've worked together on TV shows before.
Yeah, wow.
And I was like, I'm calling you because I'm fucked. Like, I don't know what to do here. And I needed that help.
Yeah, wow.
Because I knew I was outgunned that day. I couldn't stop thinking about like how fucking worthless I felt. I was like, okay. So luckily, I got to spend the last 4 months learning how to feel a bit better about myself.
The criticism the judge gave you about your dance, is this what that led to this kind of internal crisis?
Yeah, right. I really do care what a pantomime character
who's paid to be the Red Simons.
Do you care what he thinks, or because I had a little bit of this experience during Taskmaster, I think as well, which is do you think that there's just that bit of you that is you embarrassed of yourself and thinks that you're shit inside. And so therefore when someone else says it, whether it's a bot on the internet or whether it's like the judge on that show, it's less about the fact that you can know it's a bot or know it's like whatever, but still whatever. It just hits that bit that you've been that message of your own.
I think it was more of like, because I had to talk to my own psych about it afterwards. It was like, but I watched it back and like I made mistakes. Absolutely, I'm not a pro dancer, but it didn't feel like that shit.
Yeah,
and it felt unfair, and I think it was mostly that.
Yeah,
it was like it felt unfair.
But did you get the sense though maybe that they also thought you'd probably be the bulletproof one they could like lean into a bit
because he knows how the sausage is made.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like he's the one that we can.
He gets it.
He gets it.
And
we
so
can be mean to him because like he gets
and
it. Right?
To be honest, I think the people in post production did as well because they left a lot of stuff in that I thought they would not leave in.
Yeah,
because it's not live. It used to be live.
Yeah.
All right, it used to be live,
Yeah.
and it's not now. Because of the way televisions, it used to be 12 weeks live. They would put everybody up and you had heaps of time. Was 9 episodes for the price of 7 or something.
Yeah. Shot in a week.
You fucking oath. It was like within 20 days or 18 days.
Oh,
It
that's
was
insane.
yeah. To learn all those dances
It was
and to do all that.
It was bananas.
Yeah.
And so, like, for example, Chris Brown, who's amazing. He's very, very good. It's as handsome as you think he is up front, up close.
Well, he lived in our neighbourhood as well. I used to see him.
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah.
Like he
had no problem with the Austrian name.
He would do he would do
handsome.
like he'd be down the barrel, and because I'm reading his auto cue in front of me, I'm like, that's a really good hook, Chris.
Yeah.
But they left it in.
Yeah,
they
right.
left shit like that. The people in post production kind of like left a lot of that kind of meta stuff in. Because I kind of really like playing with the meta-ness of it all, and then to be. The best part about it, without a doubt, was watching the man who's the greatest ever at doing that, Mr. Sean McAuliffe, who just literally can disassemble the space-time continuum in front of you.
Dr. Manhattan.
And he did it. He did it. And he was unbelievable. There's exhaustion, physical exhaustion, but when you're backstage and you're waiting to go on, and Sean McAuliffe doesn't have a phone in his hand, he's like, so tell me, what do you think about this? And you're like, oh, shit, I'm locked in here. Here we go. And then the next hour and a half, when you finished that conversation, like, oh, but the opportunity to engage with him in that kind of conversation was just unbelievable.
You know, he's got that show where he goes on holiday, like he'll, not on holidays, but like, you know, he'll go like he'll go with Aaron Chen back to a country where your ancestors are from or whatever.
Yeah. Not who do you think you are?
Sean McAuliffe.
Go back to where you came from.
Sean McAuliffe.
I'll escort you back to where you came from.
Sean McAuliffe personally escorts you back to your country of origin.
No more Mr. Ice Guy.
Sean drops you off.
Hey,
2 men enter 1 man leave.
The charming white Australia policy.
You have somewhere to be, don't you?
Yeah, kind of. What time is it?
It's 10 to 11.
Oh.
Is that right?
10 to 11's all right.
Okay, all right. Because we did want to, I'm not sure if you've listened to the show recently, but we have a segment, a very popular segment called...
Crack the Pack.
Yeah, but where's the jingle?
I wasn't given a jingle.
Oh my God, Mike, the third. Crack that pack. Will and I have been sampling biscuits
That's exactly
from
how it goes.
everywhere.
Yeah.
For the last 12 months, and
more.
it infuriates a very small percentage of our audience, but we feel that
they're not into mukbang. Like
they don't like us chewing on microphones.
So exactly, they're not into the mukbang.
Oh, is that what mukbang is?
Yeah.
I thought is that some Vietnamese restaurant?
It's the close mic'd ASMR Slurpee eating.
But in preparation for our vegan friend, Oshu came in.
Vegan cookie.
There's another one though. There's another caveat.
Oh, what else are you?
Oh no, I think you're okay.
Oh, you're
These
all right
okay. So this is everything free. It's vegan, dairy, no artificial, and it's gluten free.
That's the one. It's the
Okay.
seal.
Yeah, no, I looked real hard
Thanks,
because
man.
I knew you don't eat anything.
Okay.
So I found the one biscuit that has 0 ingredients.
These things are fucking amazing.
Have you had them
all right,
before?
Interesting.
I'm
This is Kez's,
I'm
K-E-Z, very
gonna
popular.
Crack this pack because Osh
So what's the
reckons they're
what
good,
do you
but-
need out to crack that pack? Do you need a rating?
So we have
So S tier,
is the highest,
and then
A, B,
your
C
regular sort of
to
A
F.
through, whatever.
A, B, C.
But
D.
then we need just like a description.
So F is the greatest biscuit
No,
ever.
S tier is the greatest biscuit. Amy, can you explain what S tier is?
Yeah, wait, I can try and get up a photo. But
Sigma
the tiers,
tier.
Yeah, it's like A to F, like a traditional grading system, but then S is like above all of the rest.
Yeah.
And if you'll notice the silence in the room, that is
Will's eating.
Will Anderson's.
He's thinking.
He's completely.
So these are.
ensconced.
I don't know if we described. So this is Kez's. So these are golden snaps, which is essentially like an Anzac biscuit, but
They
with
are.
chocolate coating.
They
She's
are
talking it up. I just would hold off, mate.
unbelievable.
I'll hold
They're
off because Will and
unbelievable.
I are connoisseurs in this biscuit game. Now you can take a biscuit. I'm going to chew this while Will chats.
I took a little bit longer because I just think with the golden snap and the way this flavor profile is, you need the second bite to start really getting the flavors. Because on the first bite, I was like, this is flavorless. Like I wasn't getting any of it. But then once I started, because the crunch is great, like it's so crunchy. And then once you actually start to like chew it a bit, some of the other flavor comes through, I think, like the golden, like snap sort of flavor. The vegan chocolate's fine. Non-dairy chocolate is fine with me because it's pretty light, which is something that we don't like if the chocolate's too much in the
We've
mix.
eaten a lot of very low quality chocolate.
I would
on this
prefer a
segment.
chocolate rather than, but if for a vegan one,
Hmm.
I thought it was pretty good. Like, I mean, not like,
First things first, texture.
yeah.
Love it.
Love
I
the
love it.
texture.
I love a good crunchy biscuit, especially
Yeah.
if it's an oat biscuit like
Yeah.
an Anzac or similar.
Yeah.
I have a similar reaction to you. The chocolate, it's not my favorite kind, but it's
Yeah.
very thin.
Yeah.
They don't lay it on too thick. Doesn't have
Yeah.
that chemical aftertaste that a lot of kind of plant-based
I like that.
chocolates have.
That's the right amount of chocolate for
But
me.
now-
that is my Goldilocks amount
So
of chocolate.
you and I, there's
Yeah.
conditions on this evaluation because if given the option, we're not eating that, right? Like we have
Yeah.
to
But if somebody
categorize
said,
this-
I've only got vegan, gluten-free, sugar-free,
Yeah.
excitement-free, fun-free biscuits, and they handed me one of these, I'd be like,
That's a solid-
leave the packet on the table.
Yeah, I'd
I'd
say
be like,
that's
if
a
I
s-
was having a cup of coffee,
Mm.
I would have more than one of those.
I think that would
for
dip.
sure.
I think that would dip quite well. I think that's a
Oh,
good tea
yeah, no,
biscuit.
it's got a good consistency.
So I'm going
for
to
a
give.
dip.
I'm going to give that a B. I'm going to good solid B.
Osh, Osh hasn't spoken yet, so I want.
I've
Like,
been too busy, just like
eating.
enthralled in the delicious mastication. that
yeah,
just
well, because
came
for
my
you,
way.
you don't have anything to compare it to because you're not.
Oh no,
allowed to-
I do though.
you're
Don't
not
get me
allowed
wrong.
to eat
I
fun
wasn't.
things.
There was a long time where I ate everything for
You're fun free.
the first 24 years of my life. I ate everything. 23 years of my life,
Yeah.
I ate everything.
Yeah.
And then I stopped eating everything but eggs, and then I stopped eating eggs. And then about 6 years ago, I discovered that I was celiac,
Yes.
and so a lot of other stuff had to go out the window. So there is. How do I put this to you? There's a bit of beginner's mind about this chocolate, this crunch, about this biscuit. Like if I approach this biscuit as a Buddhist would, like
Yeah.
this is new.
That's how we'd prefer you to
I've
do
never had anything before ever.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It is the greatest biscuit
Sure.
ever created,
Yeah.
and it truly is. These things when they came out, the Jolly when I was working in more TV, the runners and stuff would get snacks for the
Yeah.
green room, and I had to say, look, can you just not get those, please?
'Cause you eat
Yeah,
too
because
many.
Don't
you eat
get
too
them
many of them.
if they are in the room.
They're very Moorish.
They are Moorish and they feel light
It will-
enough that
it will
you would
vanish.
just eat more and more than one.
I will neck 12 of them in 4.5 minutes.
yeah, I
flat.
could see that.
Do
I
you
could
dip-
actually see that.
Did you dip them? Are my suspicions right? They're a good dipper.
I don't have
Have
time
you
for
ever
the
dipped
kettle to
them?
boil.
No, yeah.
The kettle. I think, oh, a cup of tea. This is why I had to get sober because I'm like, oh yeah, you know what'd be great?
Yeah.
Cup of tea with this.
Yeah.
Put the kettle on. By the time the tea is boiled, like the
They're
packet is
gone.
empty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You're double dropping them like
My
you're at the big day
dopamine,
out.
my regulation system is gone. I'm fucking candy flipping the cats. I've got this and that.
Yeah, I think if you were doing one of those, like when The Guardian or whatever will do, they'll get all the range of, here are all the yogurts you can buy at the supermarket, and we're going to taste test them all.
Do they
and
ask you for money
decide-
in between each one?
Yeah, 100%. Despite the fact that I am The Guardian, like, I still get the message. It's like, you got to log in or you won't get that message where they ask you for money. But they'll do that like kind of taste test of like comparable. So if they did all the gluten-free, like what is this one?
Everything vegan,
dairy-free, no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. If you did that, and it was all the biscuits in that category, it'd be hard to find one that's better than this.
Well, I
think.
don't know. I don't.
I reckon.
There was very slim pickings because I almost
Yeah.
went with the Coles brand vegan cookie, but it wasn't gluten-free.
No.
And so, in terms of like your specific dietary requirements, that's pretty much the only biscuit on the market in a Coles.
It's the greatest biscuit that there is.
Do you know what I love is their slogan? Tastes so good! Exclamation mark. That's just
simple.
It does what it says on the. It does what it says on the box.
Tastes so good.
It does though.
Tastes so good.
It does, because if I'm operating in an environment of scarcity, and I haven't
Since
eaten
1991,
and I haven't eaten a biscuit in a really long time, and which I hadn't. And
well, 1991 when they made up celiac disease.
I mean, there's no preservatives, but there's an awful bunch of stuff that I can't pronounce in these ingredients. A lot of emulsifiers.
Oh yeah, well you got to have an emulsifier in
if
there.
you're gonna, there's a lot of shelf life stuff that you need to.
Yeah.
If you're baking, you don't have to worry about any of that shit.
Quinoa flakes in that. Yeah, there you go.
You know, because I
very eastern suburbs biscuit.
Well, I really have it in for Andean native people, and I want to take all their staples.
Totally.
So I'm going to out-harvest them and put it in biscuits.
I like that. That's good.
Screw them and their fucking panpipes. This is for your panpipe buskers, guys.
It's been a real journey.
Yeah.
But it's ended where we wanted to be. A rant about panpipes.
This is the price you pay. You bring panpipes to the world, we're going to take your quinoa.
Osher's book, So What?
So What?
Now What?
Illustrated
link
by
in the
Campbell
show
Walker.
notes. Listen to the Truthless episode of Philosophy. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it was honestly genuinely a great chat. I was not aware. It's funny because anyway, there's some interesting things in it. I did not realize we had as many connections as we had. It's
basically influenced his entire career. If it wasn't for the Glass House.
There is another thing in that we made an audiobook of a graphic novel, which was difficult.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But Cam did the sound design. And if he couldn't be more talented, the motherfucker, he did the sound design for this audiobook, and it is
in his mouth like Michael Winslow. Every sound effect is just
all the
him.
sound effects
And here's the machine gun.
It is astounding. It's an astounding listen. It's like 40-something minutes. It's like, I don't know, man. It's a book you're probably not going to buy for yourself, but it's definitely a book you want to give as a gift to somebody that you really care about, somebody you're worried about. It's like,
I don't think that's true. I think if you're someone who has anxiety issues or struggles in this area, like I found it very useful and very relatable. Like I think it is something that you could buy for yourself. And it's the good thing about it is you can just check in to the specific part that relates to you.
Well, that's what we definitely made it that each double page spreads, but each one stands alone as its thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the joke was like it's 58 pages of mental health memes. But it's a conversation between your best self and your worst self.
Yeah.
So, which I worked really hard.
I was going to ask about that. Was there a big discussion about the font? Like, because I noticed you used like just the classical Korean New typeface for the negative voice.
Absolutely.
And then the font for the creative voice.
Yeah.
So there's big discussions around that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all visual.
I'm a big font guy.
There's no accident in the design.
I love Korean New.
I
was a little offended that Korean New was the voice of negativity.
What was your favorite? What's your favorite font? Is it Korean New?
Arial. I love Arial.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think Arial's just dependable.
Depends what I'm writing. When I used to write promos for,
if you're writing something for you to perform, like a story time or something, what would you write?
A story club. I've started to write in. I've started to write in Korea. But I used to write only in Helvetica.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah, Helvetica's nice.
But I've started to write in Korea.
Do you have a preferred font?
I do have a preferred font.
What's
it
that?
has not been mentioned so far, which is interesting to me.
Comic Sans?
Yeah, I write in Comic Sans because I write comedy.
Yeah, of course.
So it's got to look funny too. I say. Haven't those politicians done it again? It comes up. Verdana.
I was going to say Verdana. You're such a Verdana. I can see it.
Of everything we've talked about in this episode, it's the font discussion which will cause who wins. Is it Korea? Is it Helvetica? Yeah. Is it Arial? Is it Korea or is it Verdana?
Verdana is not I don't think is a. It's not like a
super popular.
It's not like one of the big clubs. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
Is it like a country team that is trying to? Get out of relegation. I don't know if we really have that.
You know what I feel like Verdana is? I feel like Verdana is like one of those places that feels like it's a one-off, but you later find out is a chain. There's a few of
Yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like they're not a big chain.
Like a Bailey Nelson.
Yeah, like one of those things where you're just like, you're like, oh,
I thought it was
didn't realize.
exclusive.
I like
Yeah.
Oliver's, that weird truck stop place. You're like,
yeah.
yeah, there's another. What's this to eat?
I'll have some green beans instead of French fries.
Why not?
Yeah.
I'm far from home. And
Yeah,
yeah,
I
it's
think-
like a fast food place.
Yeah, I think that's what Verdana is.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one using it, but it's not everywhere.
Yeah,
You
it's
can't
cool.
get it everywhere.
I like it. I like it. Osh, thank you so
Yes,
much
thank
for
you.
your
Thank you,
show. Do
gentlemen,
you have
for
shows
coming
to
in.
promote, Will?
Comedy.com.au. I've added a new show in Wollongong. I've still got some tickets available in
You
Hobart.
own comedy.com.au?
Comedy.com.au.
You own that?
I don't I don't. They're my people who produce my shows.
That's
own that.
amazing.
Yes.
Okay, before you eat that biscuit,
Oh, yeah.
I'm Charlie Clausen.
I'm Will Anderson.
And I'm John Deeks. John Deeks speaking.